Sorry, y'all. I cut off the other video by accident. But, anyways, when I was lied to by you, that was fine. But when I lied to you and it's not benefiting you that I'm lying to you, then that's an issue. So, I'm going to tell you guys about this story in a situation where I was lied to by my own parent. And this is no shade against my mom or nothing like that because I do understand how sensitive the subject may be to certain people when they're first experiencing this. So, like a lot of my Truth Tribe should already know if they've watched a number of my videos, I was a foster child my whole life. And my foster mother at first did not tell me that I was a foster child. Guess who told me? My brother. One day when he was very upset with me because I wouldn't do something that he wanted me to do. And he tells me, "That's why you adopted." Er? Y'all, I was like dumbfounded. Like, what? How much more dumbfounded I was when I called him all kinds of lies for saying that and then turned around, went to my mother about it, and then she told me, "Oh, yeah, that's true." And then how I was looking at her when she said it's true, because I'm like, okay, so when were you going to tell me that? Huh? Like, for real. When were you going to say something? But that situation in and of itself was a situation where I started to look at my people's like, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all want to tell me that I'm supposed to be this holy roller doing everything oh so perfectly right according to what Jesus says in the Bible, but yet didn't Jesus say don't lie? But y'all lied to me. And so, therefore, I know, differentiating from person to person, that I'm not the only person that when I was younger and a child at that, because I was 5 years old when this happened, a child at that was being lied to by the people that was supposed to be being honest with me at all times. So, I said all that to say this. If you're a parent, and I'm going to do the best that I can when I become a parent to make sure that I hold to my own word. If you're a parent, do the best that you can to be honest to your children. Because if you want your children to be raised up and become honest people, you can't be raising liars by lying to your kids. You can't be sitting there trying to tell them, "Oh, when it comes to me, you can't lie to me, but I can lie to you." Come on now. We got to be more reasonable with these children and understand that a lot of times we be dealing with them in a really messed up kind of way. And then we wonder why they turn out messed up when they get older. Because you raised them messed up. You can't keep lying to your own kids and then wonder why they turn into liars when they grow up. You were their example, or did you forget? Hmm? So, yeah, I just thought that it was just like important to kind of like shine light on that aspect because it has been so heavily been a situation where parents just lie like nobody's business to their kids. Yeah, I mean, come on. These parents even be lying about, holidays, talking about like Santa and the Easter Bunny and stuff. At least my mom didn't lie to me about that stuff. But she did lie to me about some stuff. And so it's just like, out of everybody in the world that you could expect to lie to you, you would not want to ever expect your parents to be the ones to lie to you. Because they the main ones that's always trying to tell you, don't you dare lie to me. So if you don't want me to dare ever lie to you, why you lying to me? Come on, we gotta make it make sense to these kids. Because even though they might not be experienced, they ain't dumb, they not retarded, and they not slow, and they not stupid. So they know that when you make your conscious decision that, oh, okay, this lie is okay and that one isn't, then that gives them the favor to feel like, well, okay, well, then when I get to be a certain age, then I can be picky and choosy on what I think a lie is too, which is not the case. Nobody can be picky and choosy on what they think a lie is, because at the end of the day, a lie is a lie. You can't change it to the truth just because you don't want to believe it's a lie. It's still a lie, babes. In other words, you're still teaching your kids to lie when you're sitting there trying to tell them, yeah, you're going to wait for Santa tonight with the cookies. And come on now. And are you ready for the Easter bunny? You know, good and god darn well ain't no such thing as no daggone Easter bunny. But then you want to know why your kids start making up stories and getting with the antics, and then you having to come to their school because everybody talking about how they liars. You should automatically know where that came from. A lot of, like, seriously, a lot of parents should already know, because they know, all right, well, I done been lying to my kid for quite a bit. I should have known that was going to bite me in my behind one day. Yeah. You should have known that it was going to catch up with you one day. And you should have been ready for it. But a lot of times, what really blows my mind about a lot of these parents is they judge their kids so harshly for a lot of the decisions that they decide to make and agree with. But then they don't want to pay attention to what side of their children that their children are actually implicating at that moment that they so upset about. Your kid is another you, honey. You don't see it though. You need to recognize it, because it be so crazy, because it be so many parents that can't stand their kids. And it's because that kid shows them who they really are. And they don't want to face it. So therefore, that's usually the kid that's distant, that don't nobody ever talk to, don't nobody ever confide in, because they already know. Then now you're going to have to face who you really are, and you're really going to have to step your game up. And there's a lot of people that don't want to do that. But let me see. I think I'm going to probably coin together two different storylines for this particular video, because I'm already completed with that storyline and it's not even 10 minutes yet. So I'm going to find another storyline that I've already written down to speak on as well. And that will be me talking about how guys don't analyze or change themselves and never realize they the problem. And that kind of coins in with what I was just talking about to an extent. But have you guys noticed that? Especially for the ladies, have you noticed that maybe if you have a boyfriend or a brother or just a guy friend or a dad or, a man in your life, where they so easily and so ready to jump on everybody else's throat when they see flaws or complications or issues with other people in their character and their personality and their behavior traits. But these very same men, too many times, be having a lot of the same behavior traits that they complain about, but they don't see their own faults. They don't see their own issues. They don't see their own toxic behavior to actually recognize it and change it. They continually keep dating other people, changing up who they dating, but still ending up with the same person, because they change the person that they dating, the actual physical body of the person that they're dating, but the soul and the spirit and the mentality and the habits that they've attracted before, they attract again, because they never fixed that side of themselves. But they don't want to see or pay attention to the fact that, you've had like 50 girlfriends, right? And none of them worked. And you seem to have the same kind of issues with every last one of those 50 girlfriends. Are you finally going to get to the point as a man and say, ooh, wait a minute, who's the common factor? Me? Can't be. Oh, I got to do something about that. Because that's what needs to be done. Something needs to be done about it instead of people just ignoring it. And too many times with men, that's what happens. They ignore their own personality traits that they know that they have issues with. They ignore it. And they expect you to ignore it too. And then they get angry or upset or mad at you if you ever actually call them out on it. And it's crazy to me because it's like, you should want to be with somebody that want to tell you when you doing something wrong, that want to tell you. Y'all ever had a situation where you had the toilet paper sliding from the back of your feet and nobody tell you, and how embarrassed you feel when somebody finally tell you, or when somebody finally step on that tissue and get it off your foot? It's the same type to me. It's the same type of situation when you know better and you don't tell somebody that's supposed to be a friend. Because it's like, okay, are you really a friend if you don't tell me? If I got that tissue on my feet and you just letting me drag it all through the building of where we work at, allowing people to laugh at me behind my back and everything, you laughing too. Are you my real friend? No, you not. But a lot of times, like, these guys don't want to recognize that, they're not even, they a lot of times they're their own enemies, because they're not even putting themselves in a position to recognize what issues they might have, to see what it is, to see what they need to do to fix it, and then put themselves in a position to actually change it, as opposed to just giving themselves messed up, effed up excuses to keep behaving that way, and just telling people, oh, that's just how I am. If you acting like the back of a donkey's behind, you don't need to be that way. Nobody does. Because that's a lot of negativity that don't have to be out here. And that's why this world's so crazy. Because it's like, okay, it's too many people that's making excuses for acting messed up. It's too many people that's making it to look like it's okay for you to do jacked up ish to people. And it's like, it starts with that mentality of, oh, it's only something wrong with everybody else in the world except me. Brothers, men, I really need y'all to understand. Anytime that it seems like it's everybody but you, it's not everybody but you. It's you. And sometimes it might be that for women too. Because at a point, I didn't know that and I didn't realize that. And I had to check myself. And I had to start to see, oh, you ain't perfect either. So you need to keep striving for perfection and pushing towards doing better in whatever you decide that you want to do. Instead of sitting there reaching for bare minimum and then wondering why life is not, coming and giving you miracles and making things happen, you know, that never happened before. You're not doing anything that you never did before to make anything happen that never happened before. So that's why my advice to the guys that are watching this video, that is not going to get butt hurt because of me saying what I'm saying, but that's really going to recognize what I'm saying, that's going to really see that, that's a point. That's a good point. And actually, I'm going to talk about this guy. I'm see if I can find the video. I might not be able to, though, because I have not watched it in a while. But I had recently found a video with a guy talking about how guys are and how guys don't want to change their behavior. And that blew my mind. I'm not going to lie to you. It really blew my mind because I was like, yo, he's finally talking, like a guy is finally talking about it. Instead of, guys always trying to disqualify the woman, trying to say, here are these women again, trying to tell a man how to be a man. Thank God a man actually finally said it himself and admitted himself that that's how a lot of men are. And I'm like, I pray that men get out of that bad habit. I really do. I pray that men get out of that bad habit, because the more the black community especially learns how to heal themselves, they're going to learn how to heal their future and heal the future of their offspring. So I just pray that God just allows for everybody to figure it out and to heal, so that they can stop bleeding on everybody else that they claiming to love so much, because that's so damaging to the community. And then we want to know why the community is so jacked up, because there's a lot of crappy people walking around doing crappy things to people, and then thinking that it's okay because they never got reprimanded or, told that that was wrong, even though they knew it was wrong. Because people be knowing when they be doing stuff. But I said all that to say, guys, us, especially black women, we got y'all back 100%. But y'all gotta show up and shock us and change those toxic behavioral habits that keeps you held back and held down, because we need y'all. Just like y'all need us, we need y'all. But we need y'all to be healed. We don't need y'all to be messed up and jacked up and hurting us at the same time. That's the major situation. We need y'all, but we don't need the effery with y'all. We need the good positivity with y'all, because we have gone through enough frustration with hurting each other for centuries. It's time to finally come together and realize, you know what? We are never going to be able to heal until we start to learn how to heal, change, and adjust our own behavioral habits and put ourselves in a position where we can tell somebody else about themselves, because we tell ourselves about ourselves when we act stupid. Because I know that's what I do. Whenever I act a fool, I tell myself about me. Girl, get it together. And I know there's a lot of other women that do that too. And I'm not trying to say that there's no women that's stubborn like men, but it's usually, especially after a woman's reached a certain age group and been through certain things, usually women smarten up a lot quicker than men do. And, that's a thing. It's definitely a thing. So I'm not saying that no other woman is possibly 10 times worse than the guys, but I just know from my personal experience that women are a lot smarter than men. So a lot of times, even if she don't get it right away, she eventually gets it, because she experiences certain experiences that put her in a position to get it and to recognize it and not ignore it. All right, y'all. So that's the end of this video. Um, Sorry, I had to coin these. I'm gonna have to coin these together because I got cut off of the other video. But anyway, guys, if you guys were patient enough, I appreciate you if you were. If you were patient enough to watch the entire video straight through, thank you very much. If you like footage like this and content like this, make sure you press that subscribe button and press the notification bell so that you can get notified every time I upload. See you guys next time. Later.